Afternoon, everyone. The Stadio Sergio Lanfranchi, home to Zebre Parma and to the Italia Femminile, Italy's women's side. Hosting opponents Ireland this afternoon, who have a good record historically against the Azzurri, as both sides look for their first win in this year's TikTok Women's Six Nations. Now a record crowd at Cardiff Arms Park saw Wales throw everything at England, particularly in that first half, but the Red Roses still scored 9 tries, 59-3, unplayable at times, and tomorrow unbeaten France will host Scotland. And as we see how that affects the table, well, England firmly at the top now with that plus 170 points difference. But it is the other end of the table that has our attention this afternoon. It's been absolutely glorious sunshine in Parma. No sign of the monsoon conditions that arrived to thwart the home side in their championship opener here against France. We're almost on shirt sleeve order. In terms of the history of these two, well, the Irish record against Italy in the TikTok Women's Six Nations is very strong, winning 15 out of their last 16 matches, including each of the last 3 by 14 points or more. 29-8 in Musgrave Park in Cork a year ago. You have to go back 4 years to 2019 here in Parma for that last Italian victory. This is a less experienced Irish team, however, so regardless of these head-to-head records, a really fascinating contest should await us over the next 80 minutes or so. Now we've drawn on the Celtic connections. And former Wales international Gemma Hallett was quite content to answer the call for a sunny Saturday in Parma. How are you, Gemma?
Nick, you had me at 20 degrees. I am enjoying this. This DJ is having a time.
He is. He's setting the tone, isn't he? There's going to be a party here. Good numbers have flooded in. Where do you see these teams, each of them perhaps relative to each other?
I think this is the game of the round. This is going to be a battle. Not one of these teams want to finish today bottom of the table. They're going to throw everything at it. Very different styles, very different way of playing rugby. It's going to be battle on the field, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, there's certainly been a few that have come in wearing the stripes and getting the face paint. Plenty of Irish have made the trip as well, no doubt cheering on sisters and daughters and granddaughters as they get set for another fierce TikTok Women's Six Nations rivalry. We've crunched the numbers, by the way. Ireland with 187 caps in their starting 15 compared to Italy's 572. That is over 3 times as many. Just 6 Irish players remain from this fixture 12 months ago. It rather tells the story, doesn't it?
It's huge, Nick. The amount of experience in this Italy side in comparison to the Ireland side. You know, if this stays a close, competitive battle and it comes down to those last 20 and we've got to make decisions under pressure, and, you know, the clock is against you, it's going to come down to those experienced players.
We await the entrance of the two teams then, and here they come. Italy, of course, with the head coach Giovanni Ranieri, now 2 games into his tenure. Greg McWilliams rebuilding this Irish team in a new World Cup cycle that is only 2.5 years long now, it's worth saying, until England in 2025. Professional contracts in place with both teams, all teams in this year's championship. Though, as we know, there is still some disparity as the investment continues to grow. Big moments, big days, big, deep breath as the Irish get themselves assembled. And of course, we will take a moment to mark rugby's stand against racism in all its forms and, of course, in the wider world. Right then, time for the anthems, the colours on the chests.
Call the hour, call the power.
A soundtrack that tells you it's Six Nations time. All right, let's look at the Italy team then. After a tough outing against England, 3 changes to the starting 15. Captain Giordano out injured. It's a first time starting in the number 8 shirt for key woman Giada Franco. Isabella Locatelli then comes in at flanker. Expect Tunisi and Duca to get through a lot of work. In the backs, Stefan takes the captain's armband to partner Medea, while Dinka returns to the left wing. Capomaggi is in at fullback with no Ostuni Manuzzi. For the Irish team, well, Greg McWilliams has kept faith with his starting pack from the France game, with hooker Niamh Jones a standout player in almost every respect. Nicola Friday is captain, while back rowers Moore and Nicovada, 2 players still in single figures in terms of caps. It's a first appearance in the championship for Ailsa Hughes at 9, with McGann and Delaney. 2 other changes in the back line. McGann tasked with keeping Rigoni quiet. Delaney starting ahead of Dealey, who moves to the bench. On the replacements bench, 3 debutants await for Italy. Casaghi, Gurioli and Ranuccini. Nielsen and Buggy are set for second caps for Ireland. Well, we've mentioned the disparity in experience where caps are concerned. Italy captain Sofia Stefan and fellow replacement scrum half Baratin combined have more caps than the entire Ireland 15. But this is an Irish side looking upwards, building as they go, having to part negative press stories from midweek to one side to focus on the process, their own development, to look forward to sunnier days. We have a French referee in Aurélie Groselin, who will be assisted by Germany's Maria Latos and Scotland's Mary Pringle. Our man in the truck is Ian Tempest. It is a match with plenty to keep an eye on. It's Italy against Ireland, and Ireland will get us underway. Difficult one to take in the sunshine for Medea from Dana O'Brien's kick-off. She just had to juggle that one as well. Gets the left peg underneath it again. They're no doubt keen to use the sunshine. The Italians have a slight wind to their backs, though. Gemma Hallett was just pointing out as the flags fluttered. Oh, this might be an early 50-22, and what about that?
Nick, you alluded to the wind just before kick-off. You could see the flags blowing left to right on your screen, and we said if Italy used that wind, and we've just seen it there in a 50-22, both teams battling to keep the ball in the air, but Italy come away with such great position now.
Kicking the ball from inside your half, if it goes in touch in the opponent's 22, you get entitled to the throw-in. And now Italy are going to play Giada Franco with number 8 on her back to start a match for the first time, with Elisa Giordano, who'd been named as the championship captain, having picked up injury against England. Stefan has a look over the shoulder. Franco had already come round the corner. Medea then for Rigoni, who was well met. She will no doubt be licking her lips, Beatrice Rigoni, in terms of the midfield and less experience in front of her, but it is Ireland who come away with the ball. Linda Jingang
Stay back.
happy to pick and take a couple of yards.
Stop!
It's there with fresher-faced Beatrice Capomaggi, who then plays on for Dinker. There was a sense that that was a touch high. Immediate apology. But there will be the penalty advantage as a result, and it's going to be played for the Duca. Key tackler in the side when Italy are on defensive duties. That's a little nuggety run as Stefan got there, and then the ball was played, and that's nice. And Duca now looking to break back infield using the footwork one way then the other, and Italy playing into the 22 with their tails up.
Offside.
Ireland straying offside and giving away the penalty. There was an advantage already being played, but this is just the start that Italy want in terms of momentum.
Great momentum from Italy. You saw the no-look inside pass from Rigoni. That's exactly what Ireland wanted to close down on earlier phases, which lead to the turnover. They didn't get up on it that time, and the inside pass came away in the position for Italy again to attack.
Dinka and Muzzo already getting their hands on the ball. Two vulnerable wingers. It's a little loose over the top, but it will get tidied up from Lucia Guy. Italy going again through Scorbini. Took a knock in that game against England, no doubt benefiting from the 2 weeks to recover. Pick and go Italy. Want to be careful it's not held up, but they are going to play now, and it's Rigoni. Dummy, look to try and get through. Aoife Dalton did just enough. Niamh Briggs is clapping her hands that they need to release. Allow the opportunity to play. Fadrighi. Oh, it's an Ireland penalty. Tunisi with the carry. But it was Ireland who got themselves in a good position for the turnover, and what a relief that'll be.
Massive defensive set from Ireland there, because the attrition the Italian team were going through, the speed of ball that they had, and just to take that wave of attack time after time. Strong over the ball, really small centre of gravity. She's not moving from there.
They were into Italy early in the week, Ireland. They got here on Wednesday. Chance to acclimatise, bit of a training run, bit of time to relax as well.
We need to fold quicker. It's blue. Pass that on. I guess time off.
6 of the Irish pack, numbers 1 to 6, were involved in this fixture a year ago. But from 7 to 15, an entirely different lineup. No Stacey Flood, no Eve Higgins, Amy Lee Murphy-Crowe, no Bevan Parsons, those involved in the Sevens programme. Christy Haney has certainly got a bung of cotton wool up the nose. Blackrock College player ready to take a place in the line. And, oh, it looked good, but referee was in the perfect position to say that it was a crooked throw.
Captain.
Disappointing from an Ireland perspective there. You know, you just got out to your 22, an opportunity to either exit, clear, let's play down the Italian side of the field. Just didn't go straight, and now they're under pressure again, just defending outside their 22.
Crouch. Mine. Set.
It's come back for Stefan. High one for Rigoni to take. Oh, a really flat ball for Sillery. And Sillery with work to do as the Irish defence pincer movement to bring her down. And it's been knocked on the floor. It was about as flat as allowed to be, the ball that found Sillery. She certainly cut through like a knife through butter.
That's the threat of Rigoni, isn't it? We've seen a bit more of her in this game than we have in previous Six Nations games. Give her a little bit of space and she'll put other players into it. What a scramble defence from Ireland again. They're not giving up territory easy, mind.
The brass band are in full flow. Send your requests in. They're very well dressed just down below our commentary position.
Set!
In the meantime, Ailsa Hughes, first appearance of the championship for the Railway Union scrum half. And Ireland are going to break at the back with Nicovard. It's a decent pick from the base as well, and in fact Ireland will get the penalty. Italy not rolling away. Positive upon a positive. And now they'll take some yards up that far side.
That's a great carry. Just not moving away, not letting Ireland play the ball.
Don O'Brien has missed touch though, but Italy have rather handed the gift back.
Knock on.
Caught us all off guard then, Nick.
Scrum again. Okay. Yeah.
Somewhere between Nutso and Stefan. Communication broke down. Execution perhaps broke down.
That's a gift and a turnover of possession for Ireland now. Great opportunity to launch something.
You wonder whether Derval Nicovard will consider another pick. The old Belvedere former Sevens player. She took a break before realising she still had the bug to play, so got back in it with Belvo and with Munster. Certainly showed a few of those Sevens legs in making those yards. She's having a little look over the top there. Now she will dummy and start to go through the hole, and again it's another good 15 metres that she makes. Italy look to counter-ruck. They were a real devil in that area against England, but it's just gone forwards as they tried to maintain possession. Affectionate there from Giada Franco, who is one of the smilier of the women's international players.
You called it, Nick. Nicovard. Picked up from a strong runner, fights to place the ball.
Can we hold it? No, when
just messy. Italy get in there, disrupt everything.
Can you say use it? Yeah, use the ball.
Ireland need to be a bit more clinical in these supporting roles. But from an Irish perspective, we go again.
Starting packs equal in weight. That can't happen too often.
Because they've been over here since Wednesday. It's all the cheese.
Cheese and pasta for 3 days.
Set!
And you match the hosts. Ireland will play. O'Brien just wouldn't hold the pass. All the training in the world, but you've got to execute your catch pass in front of an opposition. Sophia Stefan plays a rugby at Padova with the captain's armband without Giordano.
Oh, she knows it. It's right there, just through her hands. Her hands were up. Maybe started to look away just as the ball came to her.
19 years of age. Anna O'Brien, another one of the old Belvedere club in Leinster.
Set!
Stefan Rigoni's going to be the first receiver again, and from inside her own half is having another look at a 50-22. And Ireland come away through Delaney, one of the more experienced players, 33 years of age with a 20th cap. Friday. Good clear out from Monaghan. Ireland protect the ball a little more this time as O'Brien has gone more aerial than it's got distance. And it was passed back into the 22. Go back in line with where it was kicked from. Just a bit of naivety from the Irish.
And I think that's where the experience comes in that we mentioned before the game, Nick. You know, Italy using this wind is swirling, keeping Ireland pinned in this corner.
In from Bikini, tucked down from the top. Ireland certainly coming through in number. Jungang leading the charge. Stefan under pressure, and the counter up from the Irish with all that pressure was good. O'Brien. Dinker is underneath it. Starts to take yards into the middle of the field. Was well followed up by Grace Moore, the Saracens back row. Stefan has a look to the right where Rigoni is waiting. She will feed it to Medea. Actually came off the head of Natasha Behan. Referee has an arm out for a knock-on, but I think it may have been put away. That ball has just bobbled past Veronica Medea, who has to get back into the 22. And size is up, kick downfield. Didn't quite get the connection she wanted. Jungang missed it. And it is already breaking up a little bit. Aoife Doyle senses the chance to get on her bike. Ireland have a good position here, and Monaghan will get their head down, as she so often does for Gloucester Hartpury and formerly Wasps, of course. Penalty Ireland. And Italy have got to be careful in those areas of the ruck. They're just leaving bodies in there. That time Jordana Duca was the one spotted.
Yeah, Duca, she's involved in the tackle, but she falls on top of the ball carrier and just lays there, makes no attempt whatsoever to move, slows down the Irish ball, and she's penalised for it.
On me.
Neve Jones, another one of the Gloucester Hartpury stable. Referred to feeling refreshed with the extra week's break. Managed to get a coffee in with her mum in the process. Those who scored when these last two met in the TikTok Women's Six Nations, and she'll get the ball under that left arm again. Ireland are making decent meters here. Friday urging the charge. And now a penalty advantage. So, chance to continue going forward with Blackrock's Dorothy Wall. And a moment of considering the crossfield kick from O'Brien. And then Friday, ball back in field. It was a good call on the left side from Neve Jones. Ireland need to just find a little bit more width and depth, perhaps on this left side. Options fanning out a little limited initially, but Friday doesn't mind. She's going to take the yards and just go straight forwards. Then O'Brien, and then looking for McGann, and McGann will play it away. And this is Ireland with a nerve-settling passage of phase play, which will please them. Continuing to enjoy possession in the Italian 22, as Jones is another one to offer, but it won't find her, as Haney was it with the carry. Then O'Brien, a little wider. Nicola Vard just trying to find the option for the offload, eventually does. And Delaney, the Italians having to do plenty of defending here as Rigoni comes crashing through the ruck. Monaghan will happily charge at a couple of blue shirts and take them with her. Jungang. Central position again for the Irish. They'll come back from the way they came, and Monaghan looked to fly it over the top. McGann just couldn't quite get it away for Behan, but it will be the penalty to Ireland.
Side entry in the middle.
Players coming in at the side.
7.
A lot of possession for Ireland, but it's just a little bit disjointed, Nick. It's a little bit more reactive, I think, than proactive. You know, players going in on their own and changing direction. Doesn't seem to have that continuity to what it is they want to be doing in this attack zone.
Certainly looked pretty decent for the first few metres of the catch and drive.
I'm surprised it didn't reset and go again, if I'm honest. There was no reason for that to come out.
Linda Jungang, Cameroon-born prop. One of those in the 2022 Opta TikTok Women's Six Nations team of the championship. Neve Jones alongside her in the front row was another. Sam Monaghan, second row was another. It's been a tricky week for Greg Williams. Articles discussing the union and also those discussing certain comments he made about feeling a father of the team and almost like the players were his daughters. Perhaps an expression Gemma Hallett he might live to regret.
Made my skin crawl, Nick, if I'm honest with you.
One of those, isn't it? Sort of knew where he was trying to go with it.
I can appreciate the sentiment, but not in today's age.
Jones
Knock-on advantage.
didn't quite get it right for Ireland, and Giada Franco was happy to take it on and swat away the green shirts as she got up to the 22. From Stefan through Madia,
Advantage over for knock-on.
right through the back line. Rigoni, and this is Mutso from Sillery. Stefan for Medea. Well met by Grace Moore. Just stopping that Italian momentum. Rigoni called it on the left side. That's the benefit that Italy have with Medea and Rigoni, but it's well taken by Delaney. Although the attempted boot upfield left a little. Italy will have the line out as a result.
Yeah. Clearly jump down there at that line out. Yeah.
Great take.
Okay.
Ball back in the air, just hits the outside of the boot, but let's talk about the composure. Italy happy to run it from their own 22, sorry, from their own 5-metre line, after Ireland can't stay composed and execute the line out. Two different teams out there at the moment, attacking-wise.
In from Bikini. Difficult one.
Knock on.
Stefan just got a fingernail to it, I think. Certainly in the eyes of the referee, she did.
Ooh, what do you think?
I'm just going to say that Aurelia Groiselo is a lot closer than we are. That's my politician's answer on that. Gemma Hammond?
Fingernail, that's all it was.
Of course, the last time Ireland were in Parma was 18 months ago. Those Rugby World Cup qualifiers that proved so painful. Saw them miss out on the big dance in New Zealand. They got the win against Italy in those, but it was the loss to Scotland that confounded them missing out. Nikovard with the carry, just a couple of metres that time, and Monaghan will be ready to take on the charge, but actually just opts to slip it back. And then Friday just need to find possession on the go forward, Ireland, and might find a little more room here, but it just wasn't held by Behan. One of 29 players contracted with Ireland, 17 full-time. Of course, the earlier Wales result against England proving how far ahead perhaps the Red Roses are, but it's been a much more positive spell for Wales broadly. I was going to come to you, Gemma Hallett, but Italy are playing some rugby, so we'll come back to your thoughts on the Welsh shortly. But Stefan, and paging through there goes Giordana Duca. Oh, it's another turnover though. In fact, it's gone against Bikini for just going straight off her feet to try and secure possession.
Number 2, Latcher.
But professionalism is on the road, Gemma Hallett, as I was just discussing. And we are seeing the improvement in the teams, even though some have a little further to go than others.
Yeah, and, you know, I'm always going to speak from a Welsh perspective. The national squad in Wales is doing incredibly well. The culture has changed, the team cohesion and the support. Sell Cardiff Arms Park out today is incredible. Performance-wise, we're not quite there with the best team in the world, so we've got a little bit of work to do.
Ireland take it from the line-out. They'll be pleased to be on the right side of that penalties conceded count so far. Italy have conceded 5 already inside the first quarter of the match. That is a rate they will really want to slow down. Little show from Hughes. Medea just finds herself at the bottom of tackles and rucks fairly often. I think she's taken a bit of a hit to the face as well in the process. But now Ireland looking to play and looking to find a little bit more width in those wider channels. Delaney joined the line and Dalton kept it alive. Friday once more. Straight through Tunisi.
Yes. You went back.
It's going to be another penalty against Italy.
No.
Aurelia Groiselo is taking no prisoners.
This is better from Ireland. It's a bit more direct. But, you know, these Italy players, they've got to be moved. Straight over.
It's that discussion over moving east-west rather than north-south on the pitch, isn't it? And I think perhaps the Italians are rolling out a little bit too north-south, and the referee wants them a bit more east-west.
I'm old school. We didn't have maps when I was playing. You just got rid of the body, Nick.
Non, il faut d'abord que le plaqueur sorte pour que j'autorise le gratteur, d'accord? Here. Inside.
In from Jones. Super line-out take and execution. Will play. McGann.
Ball is out.
Jugan. Doing well just to get the little chicken wing arm over the top in order to get the ball to ground. That's another good carry as well from Haney. Jugan again had to reach for it, but manages to step out of the tackle of Rigoni, and Ireland have got numbers on the left here if they can get quick ball. O'Brien was trying to call for it, but have Italy turned this over? No, it is coming back.
It's blue, it's blue.
No. Bit of a lottery in there. Eventually it comes back with Stefan. Referee says it's gone backwards. The assistant, I think, has questioned it. And Grazilova is sticking to that decision. She's happy enough with it, even if the crowd thinks something different. Monaghan. Well driven to the floor, but good opportunity of the pick by, well, Nikovard, who is proving to be one of the brighter lights in this Irish side in the first 22 minutes. Friday once more. Exeter Chiefs player. Jones was just looking to try and get it away and managed to. Then it was lost by McGann, just forcing it ever so slightly, sensing that they were just beginning to stretch this Italian team.
Much better attack from Ireland. Looking a lot more live now in this second 20.
Okay, thank you.
A couple of decisions the crowd wasn't quite happy with that, Nick.
Tempo. Yeah.
And you can see fairly even in terms of the carries. A couple more carries for Italy so far, but making a few more meters in the process.
Yeah.
I think from our previous update of 5 penalties, Italy then conceded another and are up to 6. I mean, their average per game in this year's championship has been 9.5. So they've got to have a rather cleaner hour of the match from here if they're to stay on that average.
It's an element of, I don't want to say desperation, but higher intensity that, you know, this is a game that neither team desperately do not want to lose.
Okay.
And you just live that little bit more on the edge. You just take a few more risks. And it's showing out there right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Ireland, they're certainly higher on the passing count, and you can sense the determination to get it wider with those passes 5 to 10 meters, 27 of them compared to 13 for Italy. Smart ball stats.
Let's go.
Giving us a bit of an insight as to what each of the teams are trying to do.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Big drive from the Irish. Franco had to get the pick going. Oh, and bounces out of the tackle. The game of the 2 number 8s at the minute now. Medea and Ireland are calling for numbers across here. And now it's a chance for Dinker, who recognises that the channel was slowly being covered, so put the brakes on. Stefan dummies the first one to get rid of O'Brien. That was cute. And then Monaghan coming in to make the tackle. Medea queues up for it. Wants to put it in the air just behind Behan. not quite got the sights on today, B, and missed a pass, missed a catch.
It's a great platform. She takes a really wide arc of a run. Takes in 3 defenders, quick ball. Ireland love playing with the width right down into the touchline in front of us. Again, that kick down into this right-hand corner, really trying to use the wind to their advantage.
Goes over the top and goes wrong. Big old collision there at the back of the line out. Hands up from Niamh Briggs down below. He's got the fluorescent orange bib on. Water carrier today. Flicked back in from Kapamaji and Mutso. Maurice acknowledging the threat that was there from Ireland, so opting to just go for the quick pick.
Stop!
Medea. Good take from Delaney. Wants the options with her. She goes into Rigoni. Hughes. June Gang. Jones. Driven back by Stefan, and the home fans enjoyed the strength defensively from the 76 cap scrum half, but that's been lost forwards, and Lucia Guy was doing her best to try and control it, but then ended up on the floor herself.
Time off.
I think you can see from this footage that both sides would benefit from tightening up this breakdown. It's a lot of bouncing ball, a lot of loose ball, a lot of players lying on their back, not presenting cleanly enough. I think the team that tightens that up could get much quicker ball.
Yeah, we can.
When you talk about quick ball, Gemma, we aim to please and aim to serve. There we are. Italy, who are getting clock speed of, well, 63% of it under 3 seconds. A little slower from an Irish perspective. Teams have just taken an opportunity to have the water break as Aoife Dalton gets a bit of attention, 2.5 weeks shy of her 20th birthday.
Que le plaqueur il sorte clairement des zones avant. Autrement les grattages c'était bon.
Having Aurélie Guazelot have the conversation in French to Sarah Tunasi. There's a rugby at Sale Sharks. Giovanni Rainieri watches on, worked under
Time on. Let's go.
John Dobson. Time in South Africa. Dobson now in charge of the Stormers, of course. At Western Province, he worked alongside the likes of Alistair Coetzee, some chap called Razzie Erasmus, Jack Nienaber.
Italy have pulled all their backs to the open side here. There's nobody left on this blind side.
Crouch!
Ireland doing their best to match it defensively.
Bind.
Just wonder if there'll be any late switch, whether Franco will go for the blindside pick with Stefan. Sophia Stefan, of course, who can deputise on the wing.
A bit closer. Got a big gap here, so just can't control it.
I love her back row's thinking. She's looked up, she's seen all the space. Franco's thinking, yeah, I like this.
Place. Left on the mark.
Is it all coming flooding
Yes.
back, Gemma?
I got a stitch just thinking about it.
Let's go. No. Crouch! Bind!
Italy with the worst scrum success of the championship so far. Now, they have, of course, faced France and England, which is not going to help the ability to stay in the fight a lot of the time, but Ireland's scrum successful is second only to England.
Thank you. At the beginning,
So it's certainly
we
an
have
area
a
of the
good
game where
scrum. So
you expect
now
the Irish to take them on.
Close. Okay, now. And
Yeah, and I think we've seen the, 95% success rate so far, and it's really helping Nick Avard just launch an attack, take up the meters from the scrums.
Stefan will play it away. There's going to be no blindside pick. It's going to be out the wide. And Dinka coming across and managing to keep it alive to find Capomaggio and then Muzzo. Muzzo looking back in field for Rigoni. The tap tackle enough to bring her down, but the reload and the try scored. However they get there, Italy do get there. Stefan with the game's opening try after 28 minutes.
The backs had to be patient for that scrum to reset. It was always a set play, straight off the training field. Create the width out wide. Great cover tackle, but the offload. Tap tackle almost made it 9 easy in the corner.
No.
It'll please the coaches as well, won't it? First phase possession. Sweeping across the field. Super try.
Thank you.
Michaela Sillery.
Yeah.
Most points for Italy in the TikTok Women's Six Nations with 114. Oh, stunning effort. Who says they need to bring the kicks closer to the post, eh? Michaela Sillery with a stunner, and Italy up to 7.
Yeah, you can go.
O'Brien sends it into the 22. Muzzo plays it back in for the try scorer. And that was as sufficient an exit as you'll see. 29.8 metres, sorry, Gemma.
No messing around from Italy. You just can, scored points. The last thing you want to do is put yourself under pressure in your 22. Kick it back out, make Ireland go again.
Fans in the sunshine. Turn up the volume. Putting the pressure on the Irish line-out. Oh, it's drifted a lot in the wind.
Not straight.
But it was gusty down there. Muzzo's just tiptoeing across to the right off that left wing, and Franco will pick, and now Medea a little deeper from Rigoni onto Muzzo, who's come into the line, and then Capomaggio, who sensibly just rides the tackle, but Ireland get the turnover. Really solid defensive work, and being able to just come back in field. Italy trying to slow it down as Friday comes forward. Tackle from Tunisi. It's not the quickest from Hughes. Back for O'Brien.
Stop!
Good connection with that one. Capomaggio. Rigoni wanted it. Stefan looked for that pass on the outside, but Ireland had shut down the channel. Medea, double missed pass. Franco had to juggle it, but managed to hold on to it. Former Harlequins player, plays a rugby at Colorno, just a couple of miles down the road. Oh, there was a big collision in there on Scorbini, but she's ridden the hit from Monaghan well. But now Friday getting over the ball, looking in good position to get the turnover. And does get it. Of course, she had to stay in that fight for quite some time before the referee was going to give it, didn't she?
She's been in the gym doing her curls next. She was not letting go of that ball. That's great defensive set from Ireland. Look at that, she wraps her arm around that ball. Strong bicep, strong core. Was it 3, 4 Italians trying to get that ball back? Ireland really needed that just to take the sting out of the Italy attack. They were coming and coming and coming. They needed to seal that ball. Back down with an opportunity in the 22.
Real captain's example there from Nicola Friday, wasn't it? And it will be Jones to Friday. Two of the players who play club rugby in England. And now Hughes. Direct run angle was from McGann. June going round the corner. Italy looked to go in for the turnover, but the clear out was just good enough. Slightly getting each other's way. Nicavard was the one initially, but now the turnover will go to Italy. It's super work from Jordana Duca this time. Key tackler in the side. And a bit like her fellow second rower from Ireland, it's another good turnover.
You see the frustration in the Irish. They've done the hard work to get into the 22. They have an opportunity and they really lack composure in their attack. You saw where Nicavard to change direction, run into her own player. Just need to calm things down in the 22, and I'm sure Ireland will come away with points.
Eighth Six Nations appearance for Vittoria Vicchini. Melissa Bertoni, of course, who made way post-World Cup. Swatted back from Italy.
Inside.
Sophia Stefan hasn't had some of the easiest service to deal with from the line out. And now we're going to see Franco playing scrum half, back for Rigoni. He's put a hefty boot on it. Very decent from the Italy 12.
On the line.
All from the turnover, of course.
Line. P5 right, you ready?
Jones looking for Monaghan, that will work. Just enough. Haney gets hold of it. Tunisian, they're making the tackle. Monaghan, little flat-footed. Franco went in to try and get on the steal, but was cleared sideways. It's a little kick in to ask some questions of Italy, but there weren't sufficient green shirts there to really cause them a problem. And Muzzo, who is proving to be a real handful in this Italy side. Oh, what a lovely pass from Rigoni to find Dinka, who was over on that left side as well. And the ball goes forwards, though, so is this going to be a chance for Ireland to try and run it back? They wanted to put boot to ball through Hughes, but we'll come back for the scrum.
Scrum.
That was a beautiful palm. Dinka's feet are electric.
Let's go.
Entirely interchangeable on their flanks as well. Okay. Dinka popping up over on that left side.
It's okay, let's go.
They do seem to wear the opposite numbers to the side you expect them to play, incidentally. Aramuzzo has 14, but seems to play largely on the left side, and Melissa Dinka over on the right side with 11.
Crouch!
They're not bothered.
Very Italian about it.
Bind! Set!
Italy will be ready to get out the blocks and put the pressure on here. In fact, it'll be a free kick. Italy engaging in the scrum too early. Small technical foul. Crooked arm. Free kick. Ireland will have the opportunity from here. They
scrum.
Got a couple of options. Choose to tap and go, but they can also choose the scrum, which is what they've gone for. It's an area of the game where they know they're feeling a little more settled.
Yeah, no doubt feeling confident to launch Nicavard off the back. Try something down the blind side, maybe.
No, I'm telling you it's mine. I'm just telling you direction. Crouch! Bind!
Away from Hughes. O'Brien. First dummy switch. And then it will be the breakthrough from Delaney. From Dalton. Back in for Moore.
Thank you.
Sillery in there trying to hold up the Saracens' flanker. O'Brien. And it was there for Monaghan. Such a classy operator. Oh, and then a chance to get on the outside arc from McGann, and Jones popping up and just keeping hold of the ball long enough to question the Italian defence. And then E for Doyle. Haney. Again, better from Ireland. And they need to maintain the composure as they get into this 22. Then it's Delaney. Then was there an arm in it? Either way, it doesn't matter. Ireland continue into the corner. Carry was from Bean. Italy tried to get there to clear out, but it is still there. And Grace Moore, well, driven back. Combination of Tunisi and Franco as Friday comes forwards. Hughes had a little look herself.
Stop blue! Stop blue!
Italy have got to be whiter than white. They've given away a fair amount of penalties in this half. Grosolo may lose patience if they get it wrong in this area. Tunisi trying to get out of there.
No, go back!
Ireland just got to keep their composure, keep some sense of process and order, and now the clearing in that ruck area is going to present a penalty opportunity. On the left peg, it's just poked through the gap from O'Brien, but no one else quite on the same page. It is a penalty. I feel like Nicola Friday needs to get into the referee here, given these penalties.
It was a shot to nothing, wasn't it? But I would have liked to seen it go through hands. The Irish attack has been much more cohesive since that scrum. Still hands in there. But yeah, I'll be looking to the ref now and giving a little eye, saying, you know, anything coming out the pocket, ref?
Yeah. Ask the question at the very least.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Please respect the call.
Great opportunity for Ireland now, right on half-time.
Yeah.
Get one on the board.
Had more possession, Ireland, in this first half.
Crouch!
Not too much in it when it comes to the territory.
Set!
I've just seen Delaney come round to the left side. It is going to pop out. It is going to be a chance for Nick Avard to have a go. Hughes, Friday trying to drive through. Ireland will have to send it down the back line. The little cut in field from McGann was good. Just needed to hold it. And now they have another chance. Monaghan with Friday for company. The tackle was good. Hughes was driven back. They will have to reload as they lose a couple of metres. Nick Avard again with another little dummy at the base, the number 8. A real mobile, useful option. Haney, more traditional front row style carry around the corner, makes a couple of metres. And Franco in an offside position. Is there going to be something on for Ireland here? Can they keep it alive through the hands? They have got a chance through Bean for the corner, but the tackle is good. No flag from the assistant, so Ireland will go again. Thought for a moment they'd managed to get Bean into touch, but advantage was still being played.
No, just one in the scrum. Here it's a trapping on your player, so it's not a penalty for this situation.
Nicola Friday is now asking those questions.
She has to at this stage. I'd love to see that first scrum again, because
in the scrum.
We'll just check this out.
Scrum again.
No. Because I'm sure the first scrum it wheeled left. But O'Hara, she picked up and went right, and I think if she went left, that would be a nice scrum over the lines, try for Ireland. It would have been easy. They've had to battle it out for 3 minutes now, these tired bodies out there.
Well, and the possession that Ireland have had is creeping up, and actually the defensive effort from Italy is having to go up. 106 tackles made now to Ireland's 52. And just behind us, I don't think just because it's half-time, Greg McWilliams is on his feet in the coach's area.
Set!
O'Brien and Delaney lurk to the left, McGann to the right. And it's going to be the missed pass for Delaney. Can she get through and get the ball down? There for Ireland once more. Missed pass for Friday. Dorothy Wall will add her weight to ensure it gets to ground. Grace Moore has just lost possession. Oh, the frustration for Ireland after all of the possession. You feel for them. Right on the stroke of half-time. There's just a moment. So much to think about. Wanting to be physical and get ready. And look at that. Sam Monaghan building up her teammate. They'll have more opportunities as they go in at half-time. The fans, the Irish fans with their flags near the tunnel, cheer them in. Italy with the one try on the board that we've had over that first 40 minutes, but it's been pretty engrossing nonetheless. Stefan with the score. Italy with the advantage at half-time in Parma. It's Italy 7, Ireland 0. Italy emerge in the evening sunshine in Parma, up by 7 points in that first half. The Irish will follow on. 9 penalties conceded in that first half by the Italians. Nicola Friday was asking questions as they camped inside the Italy 22. Forcing the Italians into 123 tackles over the course of that first half compared to their own 52. They missed a few, the Irish, missed 18 compared to Italy's 5, but you would imagine, Gemma Hallett, Greg McWilliams has said more of the same, and it will pay off.
More is the same in terms of territory, but a bit better execution, I think. The story of the half is opportunities missed from Ireland.
Captain?
Beatrice Rigoni gets the second half underway in Parma. First job is Anna McGann's, and she takes the restart well. O'Brien. And now Italy are into this wind, and the Irish already benefiting from having it to their backs. Into the 22.
Stop!
It was very much a feature of Italy's opening match of the championship against France, albeit for the last 15 minutes of that match the rain arrived and the monsoon was pretty tough to cope with. The French adapted their game that day, and the Italians just couldn't really clear their lines from their try line on 22. So with the wind at their backs, the Irish will have to consider playing the elements as much as the territory in possession. Nicola Friday has just nudged that forwards at the top of the Irish line-out, so Duca takes it on, and now out the back comes Medea, and then Rigoni and Sillery and Capomaggi. Muzzo comes in off the left, stays on her feet. Nobody was held, so Nicovard, who was trying to get in and get over the ball, needed to make sure the player was tackled first. Medea. And then it's Tunisi, and then plays it on for Duca. The 2 second rows combining well, and then Dinka. Oh, it's a stunning Italian try at the start of the second half.
That is a stunning try. They turned over the line out, used the whole width and went right back again. Stretched Ireland. Quick ball on the floor. Execution of passing. Just using the width, and it makes it so much easier. But the electric feet.
I mean, I think you can put that down in the history books, because it was an assist and an assist of an assist by 2 second rows, and that is to be cherished, isn't it?
Well, they're talented, Nick, second rows at the end of the day.
The union is strong. Elisa Dinka getting Italy onto the scoreboard. Back after having missed that England game. It was only her first start against France in round 1 of the TikTok Women's Six Nations. Sillery adds the conversion. And very soon at the start of the second half, suddenly Italy now 14 up.
I'm sure Ireland are gutted with that start. They did everything right. They kicked it down, used the wind, put the pressure on Italy. Italy with a poor clearing kick. And again, the line out goes squiff, and Italy capitalise. Squiff a word?
We'll take it. If it's not Old English, it's probably Old Welsh. Medea under a fair bit of pressure.
You thinking for an Irish composure point of view now, just give me an easy call, give me a nice solid line out to launch something.
Nearly lost as many as they've won, and there goes another one. Franco doing a brilliant job at the front, or was it Tunisi as Franco pops up in midfield? Sillery bobbing and weaving, and then a lovely call on the shoulder from Rigoni, who then looks to try and flick it out the hand, but has just flicked it forward. There's a little bit of what you get with Beatrice Rigoni. Moments of magic and moments of madness.
Oh, but those magic moments.
Are they worth it overall? We'll probably say yes, wouldn't we? I'd say. We'd rather the ambition was there to entertain.
Italy's ambition to not die with the ball is helping them make some massive yards in attack. I'd have liked to see that go to hand and see what came of that.
Crouch!
There's a ball on the pitch they've just got to remove.
Set! No.
Front rows have gone down, and in fact the decision early doors is that Linda Jungang had engaged too early, so free kick Italy. They've had one free kick each in terms of that area, and in fact rather than call a scrum this time, the Italians are going to take the opportunity for the tap and go, and Scalvini was just held, but then it's there for Medea, and it was a good effort to meet Giada Franco from Grace Moore and Sam Monaghan, although Franco got a second bite at it, and then the little chip over the top might find Rigoni. Oh, that's super, and then the offload away, and Dinka is wanting to go once more, and the ball in field has gone forwards. Lovely between Medea and Rigoni. They are partners, of course. Just wonder whether they're practicing that in the garden at home together.
There's that little brilliance. They connect so well.
Number one.
They really get this crowd going, those two, when they get in contact with the ball. Ignites the crowd.
I must correct myself. It was Stefan, of course, who put the ball over the top.
Stay high. Okay.
Sofia Stefan now has 15 tries, incidentally, for Italy. Only some rather important names like Manuela Ferlan and Sara Baratin have any more. Ireland keep finding themselves in possession, but moving closer and closer to their own line.
Set!
Scrum is holding. Nikavard. McGann with the carry. O'Brien. On is in field, and Stefan takes it. Capomaggi inside. Sillery is saying, give it more width out that way, send it away with Muzzo, and Medea, who was the last one on that left side, but has coughed it up, and Monaghan had it on for Moore, and then Jones, Jungang, and they're just sending it down the hands. They need someone to give it some go forward at the same time, though, Ireland, which eventually, surprise, surprise, Nikavard was the one to volunteer to do. But referee, seeing that Ireland have lost 10 metres in the process, will bring them back for the scrum.
No, for me,
It's still behind the ball.
for me, the ball is available.
No,
Okay.
so slow.
Yeah.
Francesca Scalvini on the near side on the flank for Italy.
Left to left. Let's go.
Greg McWilliams gets onto the comms. Scalvini, incidentally, top breakdown arrival, was one of the first on the scene. Also made 22 tackles against England, so pretty handy defensively. Not bad going forwards as well for 22 years of age.
Set!
Had a year out with an ACL injury. Nikavard will carry, and away for Hughes, and they try and isolate Muzzo. Ball was just a little too far behind Aoife Doyle. You wondered if the release needed to just go a shade earlier, so she could really get on her bike and test the recovering of Muzzo.
It's a pick, but you've got to question whether they committed the defensive players enough before offloading each pass. There was an opportunity to create a 2v1, but the decision-making of when to offload just ate up all the space.
Not straight from Italy.
Captain.
Having to largely predict the gust of wind and throw it into the wind slightly. Not much that Lucia Guy could do with that.
Wait, let's go. Time off.
You mentioned the wind, Nick. You see, the other side of the field, Ireland had a similar throw. Didn't go to hand. We've just seen it again with Italy now. At what point did the leadership come into this? Then, you know, the experienced players. The wind is picking up again now. It's that experience. Those decision makers now need to change the call. Every ball seems to be going to Friday in the Irish line out. I think that needs to change. They're getting up in front of her. So maybe we spoke earlier about the caps difference and the experience. Maybe now coming into the second half, we start to see changes, and the leadership as well take each team forward. And it looks like it might go Italy's way when it comes to that.
Another chance to see the Italy tries. Stefan with the first, and Dinka with the first try for Italy, getting the second of the match. Two head coaches. And head coaches of international women's teams, they are jobs attracting higher caliber of candidates all the time. That's what I know a few men's coaches of women's sides are calling the Wayne Smith effect post-Rugby World Cup. If it's good enough for one of the best in the business to be joining a women's side as a coach, then perhaps others are now acknowledging that it is a prize job to be applying for. Certain big one coming up at the Red Roses at the end of the championship, as the Italian president Matteo Innocenti watches on.
Did he participate in the Mexican wave then? He didn't.
I can't confirm.
Please. Stay on the mark. Yes.
Italian president did make some positive comments when he took over about the need to invest and back the women. Had the opportunity to have a chat with him about that, and he knows one or two of the young players, has known them for a long time, he said. Knows them through family, so almost a touch of personal skin in the game. Cavard making a lot of noise at the back to try and get that forwards, and then it's O'Brien and McGann looking to get on the outside arc. Rigoni managed to make the tackle.
Tackle, Willis.
Sillery told to release. Little tip on finds Sam Monaghan. Such a great import to the English league. Then June-Gang, then McGann, who's got a fair amount of claret on the forehead at the moment, and is clearly going to need a bit of attention in a moment. June-Gang sensed that the offload wasn't quite on, and Rigoni's gone in there to try and make a nuisance of herself. Hoping to try and hold up June-Gang. That's a big floated one over the top for Dalton to take, but manages to get through one gappy for Dalton, and then gets away from the tackle again. Decent from the outside centre from old Belvedere, and then the Irish do keep it alive. Nicavard on to Monaghan, and they do just start to get behind the initial line of Italy's defence. If they can keep that going, keep it alive, then more may be on, as it's McGann again into the tackle. And Mameshi can see with the blood pouring from the face into the eyes at the minute for Anna McGann. Difficult one to take. Backwards it's gone, says the referee. On its ship through the middle. Monaghan sensing there was a chance on the outside of Gaia Maris, and the penalty will go to Italy.
And you fall. 7.
Well, there is quite the warrior look on the face of Anna McGann, who has just stopped to get some attention. And
we have a blue player.
Those of a sensitive persuasion can look away. Well, in fact, the medic has done a noble job of getting in the way for the clean-up job.
thought they were going to show us footage of what happened to McGann. I'm pretty sure it was the spot tackle from Franco that came out. It was a really big hit.
It's the work that Italy are having to do when Ireland have possession. Missed tackles is pretty high though, and it was a feature, or has been a feature of Ireland's campaign so far. They are at the top or at the bottom of that table. I don't know which way is the best way to describe it, Gemma Hallett, but they are the worst team in terms of missed tackles, it's fair to say. And unfortunately today it's continuing in that department. Italy having just missed 8 out of 141. Of course, there are players in the Irish side who barely miss a thing, and certainly before today's match, Niamh Jones was the only player to have made over 30 tackles, a total of 35, and not missed any. So Jones, certainly one who gets low enough and chops people down, and she could certainly do with a few more of her countrywomen doing the same.
Yeah, her stats have been incredible. She's been a defensive warrior for this Irish team. You know, you mentioned she had 35. I think the closest next was 30. It's quite an incredible shift for her over 2 games.
Yeah.
Ireland standing by to make a change. And it's going to be another from Gloucester Hartpury. And you've got to love the story around Catherine Buggy, 35 years of age, Limerick born, made her Ireland debut in round 2. Among a raft of tries conceded to France, there were probably few happier faces than hers earning that first cap, and on to earn a second.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Franco has done a decent job at 8, not a regular position. Stefan nearly isolated. Franco had to get in and try and get the players away, but Stefan has been caught holding on despite the efforts of her number 8.
Great, you know, double hit, one goes low, one goes high. Allows the next arriving player to come in, both put hands on the ball. Italy's support was too slow.
Italy have now got up to double figures in terms of penalties conceded. Ireland just on 3. Travelling supporters, those behind the development and the future of this Irish team, will be willing this field position, willing the wind at their backs, and for all the possession, for them to start turning it into points. McGann, all patched up and ready to go once more. Hughes, Jungang round the corner. Franco trying to repel the loose head. Monaghan, dummy back inside, but was well felled. Now in midfield, Medea doing her best to try and hold up Nicovard, but gets the ball away and over the top. O'Brien. Ireland have gone backwards in possession here. They do have some players to the left if they could ship it a little wider, which they start to do. Jungang needs to look outside, but was unable to. Scorbini's down, Italy having to defend with 14 here. Ireland through the gap. Nicovard. Slow ball. Where is the ball?
Green. No, it's you. Stand back.
Ireland trying to appeal that Italy are in the way, but Ireland have arguably been the ones that have been keeping it in there.
It's me. I speak, okay? No, your player wall on this tackler, okay? For me, it's no infringement, okay?
Nicola Friday trying to appeal to get the penalty there, as you can hear, but wise from referee Aurelie Groiselot to say, you were keeping them in there, you were keeping the ball on the floor trying to milk it. You've not used it, but in the process it was coming back on your side, so we will at least reset with an Irish scrum. But Friday giving it everything she could in that discussion, Gemma Hallett.
He took the words right out of my mouth, Nick. I'm not... I think the Italian has got to do more to move. But the referee sees it that way, but Nicola Friday must be fuming. What have Ireland got to do?
9. Out.
So change being made for Italy, and debutant Laura Gurioli comes onto the field, teammate of the All Villova starting back three, of course, and change being made for Ireland. Molly Scuffle-McCabe comes on for a 7th cap, replacing Elsie Hughes. Worth mentioning that the Italians have also gone with a 6-2 split on the bench for this one.
Please.
A couple of bigger beasts in the locker,
Here.
waiting another debutant in Elisa Ranicini.
Stay on your mark. Yeah, let's go.
Fellow back row forward of the likes of Giada Franco and Locatelli. But it's Scorbini who has to make way. Looked in a fair bit of discomfort as she did. So 28-year-old Gurioli on. And Scuffle-McCabe started the first 2 TikTok Women's Six Nations matches, now comes on. With 23 minutes of the game remaining, and Ireland in this positive position. And the replacement gets the ball in, and good shove from Italy. Nicovad under all sorts of pressure, was just scrounged and couldn't do much with it. Monaghan runs at Tunisi. Nearly managing to find the hole for Dalton, but it's gone forwards. And have Italy got anything on here as Franco shoves it over the top? Oh, look at the hands from Dinka, and then the call on the shoulder from Locatelli, and then the overexcitement to boot the ball. You just want to shout calm down sometimes, don't you?
No, Nick, I was shouting go, kick. It's just hit the wrong side of her boot. I think if she puts that downfield in open play, I think it's a foot race, and I think you're laughing at me, but I think Dinka's got it.
You may well be right. It's almost the equivalent, the football equivalence is just put your foot on the ball for a moment. Just take a moment to then go for the next bit. But I'm with you. The ambition is there. Some remarkable stats on screen regarding territory and possession as Ireland play from here. And O'Brien looks for the option. Oh, Italy have just ripped it out of the tackle. Franco, missed pass. Oh, Sillery swiped the right hand at it, thinking that it was just going to help it reach the wider channels, but it just took it off course entirely.
Time off. 6.
I think there's some evidence there of Italy getting too excited. This is a great rip. Bring it up, keep it off the floor, rip the ball. There's no need of a 7-player miss pass into touch. A bit of composure from Italy on that occasion.
Had the numbers, didn't they? Could have really threatened just by simple pass and draw, but...
Stay, we have a gap, play on.
Another change for Ireland. Dorothy Wall making way. Brittany Hogan, we saw onto the field. Jones needs to stay bound as long as possible here. And good yards from Ireland. Now it comes down. Scuffle-McCabe will play it infield. McGann with the dummy. Being involved more and more as the game goes on. And then the juggle from Hogan did well to hold on to that.
No hands, no hands.
O'Brien. Tackle from Rigoni.
Money's out.
Ball came flying out. Italy first to react to it. Stefan. I think assuming nobody was home, but Delaney had got back there. Oh, now Sillery getting over the ball, coming up with it. Super from the outside centre. Everyone's having a go at turning it over now for Italy.
Green, move up.
Now Stefan. there for Murray. Buffeted well by Jungang and Buggy. From Franco on for Tunisi. Locatelli. Italy need to reorganise a little bit here. Now out the back it goes. Rigoni, who's rushed a kick forwards. It hit the Irish and came back. Rigoni a little deeper now and eyeing up what territory there might be to bounce into touch, but O'Brien got a cross and tried to play an offload out the back. Natasha Behan didn't know an awful lot about it.
Captain, vous avez le choix entre la mêlée ou la touche.
We've hit that time in an arm wrestle where both teams have lost a bit of composure.
Well put.
Time is off.
Italy showing the experience at points of the game to be the first to react, to get onto things, but at times also showing that lack of composure, as you say, to rush something, try and look for the advantage a little earlier than it might naturally come. Maeve Deely coming onto the field, made her debut last year against Japan, which she scored in the second half. Copped a yellow card against France. And it will be Natasha Behan to make way. Wouldn't say it's been one of her brighter games. Behan.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Franco had to do a bit of a rescue job for Stefan. More of a smuggle job from Rigoni onto Sillery. Look at the Irish back row trying to get over that. But it was actually side entry, and this is Locatelli who's bunged it out for Muzzo, but Italy will be allowed to come back.
7, side entry.
Felt like the Irish back row were well positioned to get over that, but Grace Moore's got to come in through the gate.
Post.
Yeah, she never makes it all the way back around, does she? Interferes with the ball. Really interesting option now for Italy.
Well, they've weathered the amount of possession and territory that Ireland have thrown at them and managed to still get 2 tries on the board. So you can imagine that if Sillery can play the wind and get this through the sticks, well, at least it pushes them out more than 2 converted tries. Favourite statistic about Michaela Sillery: since her debut against England in 2012, she's missed just 3 internationals. 26 consecutive starts before she missed the match against Ireland last year. And able to give you that consistency as well. Gets up to 250 points for Italy with that kick, Michaela Sillery. And in terms of this contest, just pushes out Italy to 17-0.
That's a big gap now, Nick. You kind of think the leadership in the team that made that decision going into the last quarter of the match really puts the pressure onto Ireland now.
Time on.
Emma Stevenin replacing Veronica Medea. Good take from Sam Monaghan. Towering talent for Ireland, and equally talented, but not quite so towering as Niamh Jones. Ireland could have an option down this side here as Monaghan looks to try and just get in between the channel, but Mutso drives back Doyle over the tackle. Scuffle McCabe, Buggy. As well floored. O'Brien. Sillery's come flying out there. Just feel that if Ireland can play a little more heads up, they might just spot the half-open doors that Italy at times are presenting to them.
Not clear release. You are assistant. Release. Time off.
I think you're right with the heads-up rugby, Nick. There are opportunities. Weak shoulders of the Italians as they're drifting in particular. Oh, that pinpoint, that's brilliant. She was brought up on the Gaelic sports.
Non, non, mais elle est assistante. Elle doit quand même relâcher la joueuse. D'accord? Oui, c'est ça.
So these are not just the Italian tacklers from the game. These are the top tacklers of the match, but 5 of them, as you can see, are Italian. That's the amount of work they've had to do in the face of the possession that the Irish have had. Because on the one hand, you can talk about how the Irish haven't quite been able to find a way through, but in the face of that Italian tackling defence, it's clearly a challenge. Stat screen in front of me, 180 tackles made now by Italy.
Okay.
24 missed. There's still going to be a job for the Irish defence to look at. Just a twist of the foot through the tackle by the looks of things.
Time on. No clear release.
Ireland still yet to score in the game. On O'Brien.
Yeah, on the line. Yeah.
Got 1 penalty on the board against France.
7. Substitution.
Hannah O'Connor set to come on, and she'll replace Grace Moore. Good shift from Moore. She'll be reliving that catch and knock on at the end of the first half, I'm sure, but really good performance from the number 7. O'Connor started at 8 in this fixture a year ago that Ireland won 29 points to 8. Perhaps some of the fresher legs and ballast that's come on is beginning to tell through this drive, and Gemma Hallett suggesting the side without a point on the board are doing the right things here and need to keep going.
I'm slapping my thigh at this. It's just a decision to keep it in and keep driving forward. It's the composure we haven't seen from Ireland. They've made, what's that, 20, just short of 20 metres.
And they're getting the advantage for it as well. They can't quite find where the ball is, though. Referee will help them.
Collapsing. Time off. Captain.
They got great change out of that line out, and it's something we haven't seen yet. They've always released early, or as soon as it stopped, they haven't composed it again and moved forward. And I think, you know, we've known for years what the Irish maul can do. We've just seen it there.
Saraseye waiting to get off the bench. Big moment in the game, this. The Irish now with Hannah O'Connor on the field as well. Oh, but it's knocked on from Nicola Friday. Well, in fact, I think the referee has decided it's just the knock-on from Italy as they tried to get hold of the ball.
No, the first is back.
Off Friday backwards, confirms the referee.
Number 3. Time off.
Well, this scrum is a gift for Ireland, because you couldn't help feel when that ball went over Friday's hands that was probably a critical moment in the game. That, you know, they've been in the 22 now. They have to come away with points, and at 17-0, that has to be a try.
When you look at the likes of Sam Monaghan and replacement O'Connor on,
Time on.
it's not as if one of them's the only tall option, is it? You just feel like the variation in the lineup from Ireland hasn't been particularly diverse. Options to go to the front and try that drive a little closer.
I mean, if it's not your day and this wind is whipping, just go for the easy option. Get it down and drive.
Bind.
The Irish backline are poised.
Set.
O'Brien and McGann and Maeve Deely. Well, they're starting to go forwards here at scrum time. There's a miscontrol, but they already had a penalty, and it will be a penalty try.
They're collapsing.
Italy collapsing under the weight of the Irish scrum, and referee Aureli Grosolo deciding that without that it would have been a try to the Irish.
Yep.
They got 7 points on the board.
Time off. Substitution.
I don't know much about the dark arts of the front row, Nick, but I know from a second row perspective, when your prop feet are going back at that rate, there's only one direction your scrum is going.
It's okay.
It's a great call by the referee, and Ireland needed that. Now it's game on.
Sarah Baratin has come onto the field for Italy. What will that 7 points do for this Irish side? And how much will that decision for Michaela Sillery to take a penalty kick at goal earlier come into the reckoning? Italy win the penalty. Beatrice Capomaggi, incidentally, is the one who made way for Baratin, so expecting a little bit of a reshuffle around the backs. I think Elisa Dinker may have moved to the full-back position.
Locatelli does incredible over the ball here. So there's a strong leg drive. Two Irish are over the ball, but Locatelli comes away with it. She's got no right to be there. She's so compact and strong.
Another one of the colonial club from around these parts. Line-out didn't work initially. Ireland got a hand to it, but it's bounced back into the hands of the Italians. Jordana Duca carries like she's barging down a rotting door.
No hand! No rack! No hand! Stay back!
Baratin. Oh, just lost backwards. Certainly, she's on to earn a 114th cap. Sarah Baratin. Reported as retired in various quarters, and thought, no, not even that. And on she goes. Tunisi, accompanied by Franco. Baratin for Bikini. Counter-up from Ireland is putting pressure on this Italian possession, and they'll have to do more work, as Locatelli will then have to be the one to go in and play scrum half. Now Baratin is back there, and it's up for Gurioli. Baratin looking both ways. It's not the quickest ball, but now Tunisi, oh, she's missed her player there. And the Irish hack it away upfield. Players beginning to stay down and need a bit of attention through cramp. 9 minutes remaining of the match and a 10-point game, Gemma Hallett.
That's disappointing from Italy, because they were doing really well in the 22. You said it wasn't much speed to it, but it was very composed. Everybody knows they were organised. They were going through the phases, and it felt calm. Just that unfortunate, that pass into touch. But that's the contrast between Ireland and Italy in the opposing 22.
Change for Ireland. Niamh Jones has made way. Clara Nielsen, Exeter Chiefs, has made her way on. And we just saw the shot of Niamh Briggs, of course, famous fullback for Ireland, on the coaching ticket with Greg McWilliams. Former Six Nations champion.
Mark, please. Mark.
Now Italy with the 6-2 split. bring on back row number 21, another debutant, Elisa Ramicini. Well, Italy have now gone offside the line out. It's brought about another free kick. And O'Brien is looking at the options and suggests she's just going to give this a good old whack, which she does, and actually almost catches out the Italian back three. And Stefan will play for Dinka. Steps off the right peg. Then Steven in and on for Rigoni, who will not mind doing too much other than trying to find touch, but misses outdoing on that occasion. Monaghan. Going to get a call on the outside here and see if he can challenge a couple of the holes that might just be presenting themselves in the Italian back line. Scuffle McCabe. Looks for O'Brien again. McGann. To just try and get on the outside shoulder there of Giada Franco. Not something too many manage. Backwards it went. Jungang. Another carry. Monaghan again. O'Brien looking for the option. Oh, it was nicely taken from Derval McAward. And now getting a good head of steam. Been such a bright light for the Irish, and eventually finds the support from O'Connor, who arrived on the shoulder.
No, it's
now
over,
Ireland
blue.
flood the numbers in. Rigoni
Over.
stretching out the double cramp. And it's penalty Ireland. And again, Italy just slowing it down. Nicola Friday might wonder whether Aurélie Groselot has forgotten her cards.
Time off. Yeah, thank you.
Both teams just getting a breather.
Do you know what, Nick? Really starting to feel for Irish rugby. And we're not there yet, but the last time that Ireland lost their opening 3 games was in 2007. And you alluded to it earlier, you know, the team that won the championship, the team that beat New Zealand. I can't help but feel that all the work that those women did, and all the work that's gone in to women's rugby in Ireland, and they must just feel so sad to be on the brink of this kind of record now, of 3-0 since 2007. It's a sad day for Irish rugby.
And certainly many members of this squad are hoping this is the start of a new journey. Those, of course, in the younger years.
No, she's inside.
Friday was managing to bring the line out down. They've not got the ball to ground, so therefore they're unable to use it. I was just musing over the point, perhaps making a light remark about Aurélie Groselot not having the cards with her, but also reflecting, I think when you get a penalty try these days, you have to also accompany it with a yellow card, and I'm not entirely sure we saw one at that point.
Well, she's clearly left them in the hotel.
Good job she didn't pull out a room key by accident.
That's a different game.
Our friend Ian Tempest.
Crunch!
Well, he can crack open the twiglets. He's barely been used at all, has he?
Bind! Set!
Almost refreshing, dare I say it. Barrettine for Rigoni. Big collision with Scuffle McCabe.
Back on the
Still
feet.
5 minutes remaining of this one.
Yes.
Italy need to be careful and make sure they manage this one to the very end. They don't find touch that time. And Ireland need to straighten. And eventually they get that. Scuffle McCabe Jungang offering herself there. And now ahead into Franco. And look at the tussle there. Great to see. O'Brien, more depth, just trying to get Dalton onto the ball. Italy have just crossed the 200 tackles made mark. Extraordinary. Midfield. Great offload from Monaghan. Love to see her do that a little more. Italy could be a little short-numbered here if Ireland can make it work. Needing to straighten again, and Delaney opposite. Starting to pick. Italy starting to tire. What could Ireland put out the bag here? With 4 minutes remaining on the clock. They drift up. It's a loose pass over to the left side, but ball does come back in field, and O'Connor will take it down. Scuffle McCabe, Fields buggy. Oh, but the Italians get in, and look who it is. On 114 caps, Sarah Barrettine still working that hard for the badge. And we're seeing Elisa Dinker on the field. She's been announced by the host broadcaster as our TikTok Women's Six Nations Player of the Match. No doubt for the meters that have been made, the defenders beaten, and of course for finishing that wonder try. Here's another look at it, if you've just wandered in late. Second row to second row. And then Dinker with the feet. In for the finish.
Substitution number.
She's looked excited every time she's been on the ball.
14. Yeah.
Ireland lining up another couple of changes just down below us. Vicky Irwin coming onto the field. Side McBride is also waiting to come on as well.
Okay.
So Aoife Dalton makes way. Italy go for a cute one at the front, and they are going well now again. And then the offload. And is there going to be more room for Sarah Barrettine to continue making history?
Yeah. Offside.
Maurice looking as dangerous as ever, then gets the offload away. Almost in behind Ireland once again here, Italy. And the home fans sensing there might be a chance for a little cherry on the cake score. Rigoni has chipped it over the top, looking for Stefan, but finds Elisa Dinker, who will finish off a superb afternoon for Italy in Parma. Just announced as the TikTok Women's Six Nations Player of the Match, so grabs another one just for good measure.
It hasn't been a blockbuster, it's been an arm wrestle, but moments like this have been incredible in this match. Little moments of excellence, and these two, Rigoni and Dinker, just know each other so well, coming away with the goods.
Lovely to see. Both on the same page. Rigoni had signalled it from the previous phase. They knew where they needed to be. Gorgeous rugby. Sillery then to get over the 250. Beautiful strike. Italy up to 24 now. Third try on the board. It's doubtful they'll get any more than that in terms of looking for the try bonus. But it is a score that wraps up the match and lights up the Stadio Sergio Lanfranchi. A couple of changes being made for Italy. Very early onto the field.
Knock-on advantage.
And Kasagi. Emanuela Stecker onto the field. Ireland.
Advantage over for knock-on.
Doyle snapping back in. O'Brien. Almost thought there was going to be the intercept for Franco there. Oh, and Jordana Duca's just taken a bit of a knock. O'Brien. Oh, it's going to be the giveaway for Rigoni, but she's just knocked it on in the process. All her Christmases had come at once, and Aurelia Grozzolo blows the final whistle. Well, it was the arm wrestle in Parma that Italy managed to stretch away from in that second half. Elisa Dinker with a brace of tries in the second 40 in the face of a ton of Irish possession and territory. Sees Italy climb up to 4th position with the 4 points they will take from this result. Ireland rooted to the bottom, and they have not lost this many consecutive away matches in the championship for 18 years. A record they will not be too proud to be taking. Another few decent points from the boot from Michaela Sillery as well. Italy are up and running in the championship after those 2 first tough games against France and England. They've beaten Ireland by 24 points to 7.